I wouldn't say for me it's avoid suffering at all, actually, now. It's more like you don't have to create suffering for yourself. There's enough suffering already in life without creating more.
Yeah.
But what it does do is brings intense meaning to even the bitter parts of the journey. And it redeems them because they're leading somewhere beautiful.
Yeah. That's a little bit like what we talked about last time. I understand it correctly. No? Okay.
You probably, I can't quite remember what you're referring to, but yeah, it's that idea that
To the whole afterlife stuff
yeah,
and
the afterlife stuff is part of that for sure. But generally, the sense in which when a terrible thing passes and something good comes from it, it's redeemable.
mm,
If that's the very nature of the universe, that given enough time, good things come from terrible things, that process of evolving it starts to redeem the very worst. And I think not only is that happening, but human beings, you and I, get to play an important role in that happening. We do that all the time. And I mean, just in the most lovely and simple, inspiring, like somebody has some terrible thing happen to their child and they dedicate their life to making sure it doesn't happen to anyone else's child. It's a very powerful thing. You look around for what can I redeem? What can I play a role in redeeming? And that's beautiful. And then it is better for everyone.
yeah, that's true. I don't think that the whole humanity is on this path because we have so many cruel people and evil people and
Mm-hmm.
you know.
We have, but I suspect it's. I mean, you're right. Of course, you're right. And it's quite possible they bunch together, and get to know each other. But I suspect it's few. I often think, these are the keys that I carry for my house, my car, my office, and all the rest of it. And it often strikes me, I carry that 99% of people, if they came to my front door and found it open, would go, "Hey, do you know your front door's open?" 1 out of 100, maybe 1 out of 1,000 would go, "Oh, great, I'll have the TV." It's like, it's a small, most people, have reached that at least. And so I do think we need to be proud of our humanity and how far we've come. And because if you study history, like I've done all my life, the history is is a much uglier place to live.
That's true, yeah.
And
Yeah, that's true.
that's because why is it different? Because of all of the people that made it better. And we are those people. We're the people now. And I mean, that's happening in this conversation. I'm here talking to you because I'm an old person who's going to be leaving soon, and you're a younger person who's got a opportunity in the next period of your life to contribute something and clearly wants to. So I want to encourage you, give you anything I've got that's of any use. Go, look, here, have this. See if you can do some good with it. And that's me trying to do some good, and then you try and do something, and you're trying to do it now. You went through a hard experience, like the analogy with the children, and you're going, how can I turn that into something? How can I redeem it? How can I turn it into something good? Which means other people don't have to go through that experience and can come in at the place I've come into. That's lovely. I mean, that's why I talk to you, because I love that.
Yeah, I think you're right. That and it's funny because you're such an optimistic person and I'm more on the pessimistic side. So maybe I tend to really see more of the dark stuff going on the planet, and it's hard for me to think that maybe, but most of the people are um on the good side, so to say.
I think most of the people are in the middle,
Mm,
because that's true always. It
mm,
moves forward, but the majority are neither the leading edge nor the bit hanging back. And those are minorities always, but the whole thing has been moving forward to some degree. And there's two things I think to avoid, and that's naivety and cynicism. And one of the things that can come if you've had the sort of life I've had is naivety.
Mm.
Because, no, we'll just love each other and it'll all be fine. It won't, but it's taken me a long while to see my own naivety. And I see naivety everywhere in spirituality and in certain forms of progressive politics. It's very naive. And it's sweet, but dangerous, because the world, you need to be alert to the other side. What happens on the other side is you fall into cynicism, which is and you think it's all just going to hell in a handcart, which, interesting again, if you study history, people have always thought that. They've always thought they're in the worst of times, always. And they haven't been. Actually, they've been in probably the best of times, often. But they just can't see it. So what I love for me about this evolutionary understanding of everything just forming and being more than the moment before, even when it's bad, it's always it's more than, because it includes the past. What I love about it is that it cuts through cynicism and naivety, because it says to the naive person, which I've been, you've still got to live with all of all those other labels. There's still people living in the Middle Ages, and they're dangerous. You've got to live with that. You still need to live with biology, and it's going to go wrong, and it's going to mess you up, and you've got to live with that. You've got to live with all, volcanoes erupt and cause mayhem. You've got to live with that. Everything that's evolved, you still got to live with that. Even though you're experiencing love, and it's like, you still got to live with that. And then for the cynic, it goes, yeah, but can't you see that it's constantly evolving? And there's no limit to that. And if we commit to that evolution, all those things that you're alert to and you need to be, we can, bit by bit, we can make them better. And then you're bringing that together. You're bringing both, you're avoiding those two extremes, and you're seeing the voice, because you need people who are going, yeah, the bad thing over there, and you need people going, yeah, forward to the good thing. We need both of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I like it.